Howdy peeps and peoples. Today we're going to get into a few different things. We're back here on this long logging job at Rocky Point. I blow a hose on Brutus. I get a leak. No, I actually did blow a hose. It's been a while. I've slept since then. Blow the hose on Brutus. Had to come out, park the cutter, hook a ride with Junkie to come out to the end of the long job to get Whitey. And he's got a big old load of red oak. Stevie called it a moaner load. That's what he said. Didn't bother Junkie one bit. Cruised right out there. Had to go out there and get Whitey and work Whitey back this long skid road to get Whitey in there back to Stevie's yard back there to work on Brutus. Whitey handles it great, and we talk a little bit about Whitey's off-road capabilities. Broke a few bolts on my head, on the Quadco head. I'm starting to uncover an ongoing problem there. And we followed up with a ride out with Raji. We followed Junkie and Stevie out in Tiny, and we talk about a few techniques that we're investigating. There's a line down through there. It's a narrow property. Wide over here. It's a long, narrow property. To finally happen. I got a hose oozing on the disc saw. Just nothing major, but it's blowed. I'm going to have to fix it. So I'm gonna come out here and get in with Junkyard and hook a rod out and get Whitey and bring Whitey back, I guess. Is he gonna wait on me? Is he gonna wait on me? Is he gonna take me with him?
Yeah. That's a motor load.
Motor load? Got motor red oak on it.
Not red oak.
Their back tires are moving a little bit. He'll be all right. A big one, Junkie. here's the thing. Bear in mind a GoPro never ever does this justice. But you're going up and down hill, and there's pretty good. It's not bad, but it's pretty good. The one leading down the bridge now, it's a pretty steep little hill to hold that kind of weight back. But the cameras, the GoPros never can really capture terrain. I don't know why it never works, but it never does. So try to use a little bit of imagination to figure the terrain. I mean, this thing is handling it just great. And notice the speed. You know, it's not super fast, but it's not that slow either. For outer bounds. Two of them hang up there. Stevie had them put on there wrong. Close to this when he turns. I thought I had to where it wouldn't hit, but it actually can hit from time to time. It's got a little skin right there bumping it. I'm on jump off. pay at the other window, right? Please pull the next window. Give you an idea of how big this thing is. I only come right about here on this guard. God, what a beast. I love that thing. All right, let's go get her Whitey. Go down here and see what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna try not to sound arrogant, so I'm gonna try to choose my words carefully. First off, do y'all hear we just got Whitey back from the doctor, and it had a valve, it had excess valve lash, was part of the little sputter that Whitey's had over for the past while. And I know that Blackie's still got a sputter, but Blackie's is from timing's advanced a little too fast in the injection pump. But anyways, Whitey, for those of you that thinks that you might be in the market for a truck like this, or just here's my thoughts on Whitey. We do a lot of these jobs, and I want to get Whitey. A lot of the time when you're doing beef up and highball logging is when the ground is actually good, you're prepping for the winter, you're trying to get your log yard stocked for bad weather to come behind that, and you really want the wood moving. Now, for that to happen with mechanized logging, what our mentality, I'm sorry, being arrogant. What our mentality is the idea behind Whitey was to be able to get the tools, a crane, a welder, an air compressor, and all of the hand tools back to where the problem actually is. When you're mechanical logging, that could be back at the stump. So the idea behind Whitey was a short wheelbase truck with tall tires, high riding components. Whitey's got 22.5s, 11R 22.5 tires on it. Open shoulder, all-wheel drive, 2-speed transfer case, and Whitey's in low range right now, coming on back here. And with the short wheelbase and stuff, we have us a truck that, and it weighs, I'll talk about the weight here in a minute after I get set up here, but it weighs 23,000 pounds loaded, and less than 24 fully loaded. But you're talking a lot of weight, and the way with Tiny running these roads and it's a skid trail, and stumps. If I snip a stump out of the middle of something or another, I need something with a little bit of clearance to clear over it and bring the support back to the stump. And I'm telling you, Whitey does not have an overdrive, which I regret. It's got an Allison transmission, and I love it. I know a lot of you's like, man, you need it. You need a manual transmission and a clutch, and no, you need a torque converter to do this stuff. And it's arguably that our skidders need a torque converter. Okay, so no, I like the Allison. I'm real big on the Allison for this task. Now Blackie, I like slamming gears in old Blackie, but in this task, I need a torque converter. I'm convinced of it. For these scenarios, you know, I don't want axle hop. I don't want rear end hop. I could be in a bad spot. So if I start tire hopping in a bad spot, what do you think that's going to do to my axles? You know, you're talking to a fella who's twisted an axle or two in his career. But anyways, that's I get super proud of Tiny, and I sound arrogant, I know that. I apologize for that. And I get super proud of Whitey, because they're two unorthodox technologies that's really helped our crew out a bunch. And the Den, Stevie and the Den has a bunch too. Brutus has helped. Brutus has had a rough start. Look at that walnut down there stacked in. Brutus has helped, but I'm telling you, the Den, Tiny, and Whitey has really made our crew mobile. It feels like at a larger scale. Look where Tiny, or Whitey. You all know how big Whitey probably is. Whitey just barely comes up past the apron on Tiny. That tells you how big. I can't get over the size of that thing. But anyways, let's get back here and get set up and do our thing. People torment me when I got this service truck and say, you really need a four-wheel drive? And I'm like, yeah. Not trying to be all braggy sounding, but man, I love this truck. I really do. Been really good to hear how good it sounded. He got a tune-up in at Sternberg's International. This thing's had a chatter to it since we got it. It had high speed, it had a rattle and a little mist to it, and it was actually I can't believe the valve lash was that bad. I never thought to check the valve lash. It sounded like a fuel problem. It sounded like it's sucking a little bit of air, so I just wrote it off as a fuel issue. But it wasn't bad enough we ever dealt with it. But it's smooth as glass now. Dirt Perfect had that green International dump truck. I don't know if he had it on the channel or not, if y'all remember it. But it runs smooth compared to this thing. But the transfer case to be able to slide it down and low, I mean, that's a pretty good, that road you can get back it with a half-ton pickup if you're really, really, really careful. And I drove back here in a Jeep with it, but it ain't bad with the Jeep, but a half-ton pickup you'd have to be careful getting back here. That thing, no problem. And that's 23,000 something, some change pounds to bring on back on in four-wheel drive. I love it. Now let me get to work on this thing. Brutus is a sheeping. We got some sheeps. Oh, I finally broke a bolt. Need to tighten them up. They last a long time, but I finally broke one. It might have done been stretched from the old days too, so you don't know. Yeah, they're loose up top. I need to snug them all down. Roger says I like the small tires because they're loaded, but he said they spin. He said I could do without all the spinning. His other tires had better traction, he said. Stevie got him a little bit of a yard jelly going on there. I'm gonna set y'all up, Roger, don't run over you. It's not a super big load or anything, it's just a decent load. Start out and off safety. Cord his butt. Look at his butt back there. Take it. everybody. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit the buttons and leave me likes, comments, stuff. Let me know what's up. And to anybody's wanting Lauderwade gear, go to lauderwade.com and help yourself at the shop there. And we got all that good mess. Take care of it. And mostly just want to say thanks, everybody. Hope everybody has a good one later on.